Hey, this is Jim Trado, host of the Racing Roundup Show, hanging out on stage at Polly's, where we're going to be really busy. Hope to see you here on Tuesday, April 9th, for our very first show of our 40th season of the Racing Roundup Show. Come on down and join the racing crowd. Until then, let's get you tuned up with some really good action from Rockford Speedway. Last fall, the final National Short Track Championships happened, and Bill Howland was there with his In the Groove segment. Enjoy.
For 58 years, drivers have come here to earn the title National Short Track Champion. Now it's the end of an era at a legendary racing venue. Highlights from the 2023 Rockford Speedway National Short Track Championship coming up now. Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at historic Rockford Speedway, where the National Short Track Championship is an event that dates back to 1966. This racetrack itself, built in the late 1940s. Rockford Speedway is celebrating its 76th season, but sadly, this is the final season for this iconic quarter-mile bull ring. The National Short Track Championship, established in '66, has seen great drivers build their reputations here. It's also seen underdogs take the checkered flag. One thing every driver here has in common: they want to take the last checkered flag at the National Short Track Championship at Rockford Speedway.
There's millions of memories that have been made here at Rockford, and you know, it's a very difficult deal to come here every day, and it was like, oh geez, and I'm very proud. Any business that can survive 76 years, any business, a seasonal business, throw that on top of it, amen.
It's a time of mixed emotions for fans, racers, and for the Deary family, owners of Rockford Speedway for decades. David Deary sees the turnout this weekend as a silver lining.
And it's great to see this racing community come back, and the people of the past coming back that we haven't been here in years. And so that, you know, that's the bottom line when I drive home at night, and I'm thinking, oh, that's pretty dang cool.
Leading the contenders into this final National Short Track Championship is two-time defending champ Austin Nason from nearby Roscoe. Nason comes into the weekend with a chance to become only the second driver to win the big race on Sunday 3 years straight.
Yeah, it kind of puts us in our league of our own, you know what I mean? With the place closed and no one else will ever be able to do it. This place has so much history between Joe Shear, Steve Carlson, Mark Martin. They've all came here, and they all say this was one of the toughest tracks to run. So to do it 3 years in a row, it will be big.
2023 Rockford track champion John Reynolds Jr. is another local who's proven he can get the job done on Sunday afternoon.
You know, we've been fortunate enough to have a good career at short track. We've won 4 of the Big 8 races, short tracks.
Once again, fifth players, we need you at the bottom of the ramp.
And we've won 1 of the super lates, so we've got 5 big ones that we can always have on our shelf the rest of our life, but 6 is a good number too.
Over the years, Bobby Wilberg's won a lot here at Rockford Speedway. The 7-time track champion is gunning for one more big win this weekend.
I won the last feature they'll ever have here a couple weeks ago, so I got that, but I would probably trade that to win short track again. I've won it 3 times, but yeah, obviously this one would be special because it's the last one, so everybody wants to win the last one, and everybody remembers the guy who won the last one. So, yeah, it would be special.
Caledonia, Illinois young gun Max Taylor won the last National Short Track Championship Super Late Model race. With the event now part of the Big 8 Late Model Series, Taylor's shooting for a second NSTC crown.
It's kind of a bummer of a morning, and then the Super Late race came around, and I knew we had a pretty good car right from the beginning, so just kind of rode and tried to save our stuff, and like I said, we were there at the end, so I was able to capture the win. But that was a really cool day and kind of propelled my Super Late Model career.
4-time Big 8 champion Michael Bilderbach's had success when the Big 8 race was held on Saturday night, but he's yet to win the big race on Sunday.
This is one stout field we have, and it showed in qualifying. But you know, we ran the big race last year, the 200 lapper, and it's just that survival race. You got to be smart with the car. You got to be there at the end to win the thing. So that's kind of our goal. And our race car is always a good long run car.
This last National Short Track Championship is bringing some familiar faces back to Rockford Speedway, like 2-time NSTC champ Steve Ruback.
To get the last one in a Big 8 car and a fresh car for me and semi-retired race car driver, this would be a nice eagle to put on the shelf and be able to look at in 10, 15 years when I retire and smile a little bit more.
Former track champion Alex Papini now makes his home in Florida, but he's made the long trip back for a shot at one last big win.
Oh, that would mean the world to me. Obviously, it'd be nothing better that we'd want to put that in the history books as being the last winner here. It's gonna be a tough crowd out there, though.
Tom Guiley started racing here in the 1980s. This weekend, the father of two-time track champion Jake Guiley is back behind the wheel one more time.
Man, it's like the end. You know, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm getting, you know, closer to my end. You know, as far as driving and racing and stuff, and you know, I got to thank Jake because you know he's got 2 cars, and he goes, Dad, hop in one. Let's go run one.
At 80 years of age, Jerry Eckhart's seen a lot in racing. The driver, known as the world's oldest teenager, needed to see Rockford Speedway one last time.
I just wanted to be here because it is supposed to be the last show to developing the place. You know, it's a shame that we're losing racetracks like that.
Qualifying will send 8 drivers into Sunday's main event. Austin Nason's fastest on the stopwatch. He's safely in the show. Alex Papini, 13th fast, is among the drivers with some work to do.
The format they got for this deal is pretty wild. Only locking 8 cars in from qualifying, and then I watched the heat races from last week at the Dells. Guys trying to get in, and it was a bloodbath.
4 Saturday heat races will send the top 3 from each into the big show. Heat 1 has the veteran Tom Guiley in the 40 and Shane Radke in the 52 on the front row. Radke making the high side work, with Randy Sargent in the 11 now up to the 2nd spot. Radke, a young gun out of southeastern Wisconsin. Sargent comes into the weekend 2nd in Big 8 points, looking for a big win at his home track. Race for the 3rd and final transfer spot as Steve Rubeck in the 61, leading Guiley and 16-year-old Billy Braun in the 31 car. It's Radke leading as the laps wind down. Sargent solid in 2nd and Rubeck hanging on to the 3rd spot. Coming to the line, it's Radke taking the win ahead of Sargent and Rubeck. After taking the checkers, both the 52 and 61 colliding with the 49 car of Michaela Adams. And big damage for Rubeck as he drives off. Radke's not as bad, and he's racing on Sunday for certain.
It's great racing here. It's a fun track. You're full throttle all the time. It's awesome. The best racetrack I've ever been at, and good drivers here too. It's great.
Heat 2 has Richfield, Wisconsin's Jerry Mueller in the 49 and 4-time Big 8 Series champ Michael Bilderback on the front row as we go green. Bilderback out of South Beloit, a Rockford Speedway regular. He can get around this place. Behind the leader, Mueller racing with 2-time track champion Jake Guiley in the 13, former champ Alex Papini in the 39, and Wisconsin racer Luke Westenberg in the 16 car. Things happen fast here. Guiley past Mueller. Papini and Mueller on the backstretch. The 49 spins and takes a big hit. Hard crash involving Adam Cartwright in the 64 car and Jerry Mueller, who came into the weekend 3rd in Big 8 points. Red flag is out. Both of these cars will have to be towed off. Back to green flag racing with Michael Bilderback setting the pace. The locals are tough to beat at Rockford Speedway, and that's the case right now, with Bilderback leading Jake Guiley in 2nd and Alex Papini in the 3rd spot. Westenberg right there in 4th. Coming to the finish, it's Bilderback taking the checkers ahead of Jake Guiley and Alex Papini.
It's home. It's always going to be home. You know, the memories are always going to be here. So hopefully someone else can build a track just like it somewhere, maybe out in a cornfield, so we can get another 75 years somewhere.
Heat 3 is Iowa's Cody King in the 14 and Minnesota racer Greg Borkhardt in the 3, bringing the field to the green. Borkhardt, the top rookie in the Big 8 Series this season, taking the lead, with King, the young gun out of Clear Lake, Iowa, running 2nd, and former national short track champion Max Kaler in 3rd. Kaler had a big year in super late models this season, winning the weekly points at Dells Raceway Park in Wisconsin. He's up to 2nd, looking to chase down the leader. Greg Borkhardt's put together a solid season on the Big 8 Tour this year, and he'll hold off Kaler to take the win in heat number 3, taking the checkers and racing his way into the show.
nice to keep a little bit of less laps on the tires, don't have to run the last chance race, and just takes the pressure off. We got a little bit relaxing day and can just stay ahead of it now instead of trying to catch up.
Fourth and final Saturday heat race has Willie Nelson in the 25 and driver X John Reynolds Jr. on the front row leading the way. Reynolds taking the top spot with Austin Nason up to second, Nelson third, and Bobby Wilberg fourth in the 98 car. Top contenders for the win Sunday battling right here. Reynolds, Nason, Wilberg now third ahead of Nelson and the two of former Big 8 champion Dale Nottestad. Nason slows in the 14. Not sure what happened, but up front it's Reynolds, Wilberg, Nelson hanging tough in third, and Nottestad right there in the fourth spot. Driver X has been up front all the way in this one, and he'll wheel the X car around on the last lap. John Reynolds Jr. into the show along with Wilberg and Nelson.
Tomorrow will be a big day. You know, we got points on the line as well with the Big 8 deal, but we're going to try to enjoy every lap we can.
This weekend there are two marquee races, the National Short Track Championship on Sunday and the Jody Deary Super Late Model Showdown on Saturday night.
Jody Deary was the heartbeat of this facility, obviously my mother. And when she left this great world, it was a big deal for a lot of us. And the last thing she told me, not the last thing, but the one thing she said would, David, will you keep racing at Rockford? And I said, Mother, as long as I can.
The showdown brings super late models back to Rockford in a big way and brings a big name out of retirement in Rich Bickle's return to Rockford Speedway.
I've raced at 226 different racetracks, and this has always been my favorite and always will be. It's just sad to see it go. I mean, I knew when she passed away that it probably would end, and it's just, I mean, if it wasn't for this being the last race, being out of the car for a year and 3/4, I wouldn't have done it, but I just had to come back and do it one more time.
Former champions John Reynolds Jr. and Austin Nason also a part of the showdown field.
She supported our racing all the years that we've been out here, and we sure miss her a lot, miss her smile and her laugh, and we'll represent her well tonight.
Oh, I grew up here, and I'd known Jody for years. I even mowed her house for years while she had it, so it's special to win it. I mean, we won last year, and we're overall winners, so she's greatly missed. It's sad that this place is gone and going to be gone, and to be the last Super Late winner will mean a lot.
For Central Wisconsin racer Steve Litchfield, the showdown is his first race at this historic place.
When you got some of the drivers that, are down here coming out of retirement, and they got one goal in mind to get that speeding bullet or get that Eagle trophy, and us, we're just happy to be here and say we were here.
Over the years, drivers have come from all over to race here. Sportsman racer Joey Pontbriand made the haul from Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
It took us about 4 hours and 45 minutes. It's the nostalgic of it. It's the history of Rockford. It's the Rich Bickles. It's the Nasons, these guys who ran here forever, the Wayne Lensings of the world, and just wanted to be a part of it.
The Sportsmen will go for 50 laps in their feature in honor of longtime Rockford Speedway promoter Hugh Deary. Coming to the green, it's Robert Hansberry Jr. in the 95 and Joey Pontbriand in the 7 on the front row with a strong field right behind giving chase. Joey Pontbriand's had a big season at his home track Norway Speedway in Norway, Michigan. Hansberry out of Broadhead, Wisconsin. These two really battling for the lead. Pontbriand trying to make it happen on the high side. Hansberry down low, not giving an inch. Running third, right behind the leaders, Josh Lundy in the 94 car. Pontbriand finally clears Hansberry. They lead Lundy, Howie Ware in the 2 car in fourth. And a spin on the front stretch. Minnesota driver Jeremy Wolf in the 32 bringing out the caution on lap 26. We're back to green flag racing with Joey Pontbriand leading the way. The field side by side behind the leader. It's Pontbriand, Hansberry, and up to third, the 12 car driven tonight by Austin Nason. It's been a while since the defending 2-time national short track champion raced a sportsman car here, but he's right there in the mix. Pontbriand leading Hansberry, but the 7 car has a problem. The rear bumper is dragging on the track, and there it goes. This brings out the caution with 8 laps to go. Hot Brand's night is over. All of a sudden, things are looking good for Austin Nason. He's out front coming to the green flag. Up to second, Chad Smith in the 82. Smith coming off a big win 1 week ago at Dells Raceway Park. Does he have something for the leader? Big trouble farther back. A spin in turn 4 and cars scatter. Caution flies, but no major damage. The race to go gives the field another shot at the leader. It's one thing to get to Nason's back bumper. It's another thing to get past. Chad Smith is closing, the 82 right there. But Austin Nason's not giving up the lead tonight, taking the win in the Hugh Deary Sportsman Classic.
That was a blast, you know. I think, like I said, I think the last time I was in one was maybe 2014, if not before that. So it was fun. I can't thank Brendan Walsh enough for letting me drive it. You know, he told me either bring back the steering wheel of your car with a trophy. So we brought her back. The thing was good.
The super late models will go for 147 laps, and they'll be the fastest laps of the weekend.
It's a blast. Your hair is on fire most of the time running a super around here.
We're coming to green with Jake Vanoski in the 84 and Jaden Dahlberg in the 36 leading the way. Some big guns right behind the leaders. Dahlberg out front making the high side work. Vanoski second. Rich Bickle in the 45, the 92 of Rob Braun. Austin Nason in the 14 car, your top 5. Bickle and Nason, both two-time national short track champions, now running second and third. Dahlberg leads, but Austin Nason might have the fastest car on the track right now. He makes his way past Bickle to take over the second spot. And we're under caution 11 laps in. Race leader Jaden Dahlberg in trouble in turn 2. He is out of the race early. We'll restart with Nason on the point. Rich Bickle and Rob Braun right behind as we go back to green flag racing. Young gun Jacob Nottestad was fastest in qualifying, and he'll wheel the 97 car past Braun into the third spot. Nason sets the pace. Bickle in second, as good as anyone when it comes to saving his race car for late in the race. Nottestad in third, more than capable of winning. The leaders are in traffic, working their way past the cars going a lap down. Jacob Nottestad looking to make the pass on Bickle for second. The 97 on the move. The leaders are putting some good race cars and drivers a lap down. Nason lapping former national short track champion John Reynolds Jr. in the X car. Behind the leaders, this is the battle for fourth. Jake Vanoski in the 84 taking the spot from Rob Braun. And a change up front. 65 laps in and Jacob Nottestad's taking the lead from Austin Nason. The fast qualifier racing his way to the front. James Story takes the 66 to the infield. Trouble on that race car, but no trouble for the leader. Rich Bickle and Jake Vanoski run third and fourth. They are just ahead of Nottestad. Coming to the yellow flag at lap 97 in honor of Jody Deary. Fast qualifier Jacob Nottestad has put on a show at Rockford Speedway. Now at the break, teams will have a chance to make adjustments, preparing for the final 50-lap shootout. We'll find out very soon who's been saving their race car and who might have used theirs up. Jacob Nottestad leads the field to green. Nason, Jake Vanoski, Dennis Smith in the 08, Rich Bickle right there ready to challenge the leader. Nottestad and Nason resume their battle for the lead. But we've got trouble in 3 and 4. Rob Braun involved. He drives away. That's Chris Polera in the 00. Dana Chak with damage to the 33 car. Back to green. Nottestad, Nason, Smith, and Bickle, your top 4. Still a lot of racing left in this one. Battle for the lead. Contact in turn 2. Nason saves it but loses ground to the 97. Jacob Nottestad pulling away. This is the race for fourth. Dennis Smith in the 08 and John Reynolds Jr. in the X car. Battle for the lead heating up. And Nason to the inside, making the move to take over the lead. Austin Nason's got the top spot. Can he hold on to it? He is no stranger to victory lane at big events, and winning the last super late model race at Rockford Speedway would be very big. Jacob Nottestad's not going away. And Rich Bickle, out of retirement and back in the car, is back in the hunt, closing in third. Bickle makes the pass for second, and there's a problem on the 97. Jacob Nottestad slows on the racetrack. No caution. Austin Nason flying as the laps wind down. Bickle is closing in the 45, but Austin Nason has this one locked up, winning the Jody Deary Super Late Model Showdown.
I had a plan in my head that we could get to the lead. I just didn't want to push it harder than I wanted to, and 97 got to me, and I let him go. And you know, I've ran a lot of these long races and knew where to save, so we just kind of rode around until we got to the break and made one little adjustment just to get what I really wanted, and we turned up the wick from there. I've looked up to Richie. He's been awesome. We've had our battles, but at the end of it, we'll always drink a beer together, you know. So, like I said, I was excited when he said he was coming back. So it's always enjoyable to race with him. He'll race you hard, but if you give him respect, he'll give you respect.
On Sunday, the Big 8 drivers not in the show have one more chance to race their way into the main event. First of two last chance races has Richie Schmetterling and Steve Rubeck on the front row as we go green. The top three move on to the feature event, and these races are only 15 laps. Not a lot of time to get to the front. Up front, it's Rubeck, Josh Lundy in the 11, and Tyler Ramadka in the 3 car. Rubeck, the two-time national short track champion, finished third in his heat, but was disqualified when he took his crash-damaged car to his pit and not to the scales. 68 car in the wall on the backstretch. As the laps wind down, it's Rubeck coming to the checkers. He'll transfer along with Lundy and Ramadka.
I've mastered this place. This is a roller coaster. This is a roller coaster with loops and twirls and cracks and no grip. So if you can master it and drive through with your right foot and have a good time, that's what it's about.
LCQ number 2 has Cody Housewart in the 21 and Billy Braun up front coming to the green flag. It's Braun, the 16-year-old from Wales, Wisconsin, out front. Housewart second, and a real side-by-side battle for the 3rd spot. Cody King in the 14, the young Big 8 Series regular from Clear Lake, Iowa. He's racing with Luke the Duke Westenberg, the southeastern Wisconsin veteran looking to take the 3rd spot. Really good race for that final transfer spot, and King finally takes 3rd from Westenberg. Up front, it's Billy Braun. He takes the win and moves on along with Housewart and Cody King.
I was pretty pumped up, especially because it's the last race here, and it was my first Big 8 race, and yeah.
Our first Sunday afternoon feature race is the Rockford Speedway Roadrunner. This is old school stock car racing, full-fendered, full-size V8 powered stockers. And these drivers aren't shy about going 3 wide. It's all about getting through the field and getting to the front. Race leader is the 29 of Austin Fowler. Right behind the 133 of Waylon Robinson and Kevin Mamoli in the 3 car. He won this race a year ago. Fowler leading Robinson, who gets it sideways in the corner. Austin Fowler looking very strong in this one. The 3 car in contention most of the race, but dropping a couple of spots as the laps wind down. Coming to the checkers, it's Austin Fowler, a local from Loves Park, winning the Roadrunner feature.
We've been racing here all year, and actually about 15 years here. So soaking in the last few races here and getting a win on short track weekend really means a lot, being such an historic event here. Got a couple more races to go, but you know, I'm here to have fun, but getting a win just makes it that much better.
The Mid-American stock cars are ready to go, and no Mid-Am drivers had more success in recent years than Ron Vandermeer Jr.
You don't really believe, you know, that this is the last time that we're actually going to be here. You know, maybe when that checkered flag flies and, you know, we load up to go home, and it might start to sink in. But inevitably, man, it would be amazing to go out on such a high note, winning it.
The Mid-Am cars have been part of this National Short Track Championship weekend for a lot of years, and these drivers all want to win their last race at Rockford Speedway. Out front, it's Scotty Gardner Jr. out of Blue Island, Illinois in the 113. Hartford, Wisconsin's Rick Reddick-Tackman second in the 21, and a lot of strong competitors back in the pack. Timmy Stewart on the move in the 18 car. He's up to 3rd. Right behind in the white 01, that's Josh Nelms. He's a former national short track champion in super late models. Spin in turn 1. That's Fox Valley driver Andrew Meyerhofer in the 14. The restart puts Gardner and Stewart on the front row. We'll see who's got the advantage as we go back to green flag racing. Timmy Stewart takes the lead, with Josh Nelms moving up to second. Gardner's right there along with Daniel Calhoun in the 4 car. And new leader, Josh Nelms, out front in the 01. This looks to be a very fast race car. Stewart strong in second. Timmy Spatz goes around in the 54. He keeps going, but nobody's going to chase down Josh Nelms. He will wheel the 01 to a Mid-Am feature win on National Short Track Championship weekend.
You know, I've been coming here since 1994 racing, and to come out and finish it off with a win, fast time and everything, it's kind of been a dream season, you know, with how fast we've been winning races, fast times at all the tracks.
We're just about ready to crown a new National Short Track Champion. It's a festive atmosphere, but these racers know there's serious business ahead.
You know, it's rough, and you know, eventually you run out of mulligans, you know, making somebody mad passing them, and you don't make it to the end. So you got to be there at the end to be able to win it. So you just got to pick your time when to go and when not to go.
There's drama even before the green flag flies. A mechanical issue on the 14 of two-time defending champion Austin Nason. He's forced to the pit, out of the race. Coming to green for the first of 158 laps in this final Rockford Speedway National Short Track Championship. Heat race winner Shane Radke's out front in the 52. Josh Thiering in the 1. Randy Sargent second in Big 8 Series points third, and two-time track champion Jake Guiley fourth in the 13 car. Steve Rubeck to the pit. Trouble for the two-time champion. It's Radke, Thiering, Guiley, and up to fourth, last year's Big 8 champion Dale Nottestad in the red 2 car. And we're under caution 20 laps in. Jerry Eckhart, the Johnson Creek, Wisconsin veteran, finding the wall in turn 4. The Orange Blossom Special towed off. We'll restart with Shane Radke on the point. Jake Guiley and Dale Nottestad right behind. And Nottestad may be the fastest car on the track right now. He is coming to the front and takes over the lead. Nottestad in the 2. Guiley right there in second. Sargent third, and Jeremy Miller, the 5-time Big 8 champ, now fourth. Back in the pack, young Carter Stark in the 92. Josh Thiering's 1 car. Tom Guiley in the 40. Grant Brown in the 14, ahead of Bobby Wilberg in the 98. Up front, the leaders are in traffic. Nottestad, Guiley, Sargent, your top 3. Farther back, Alex Papini in the 39 racing with Michael Bilderback and Jesse Bernhagen in the 28 car. The leader, Nottestad, closing on Big 8 point leader and track champion John Reynolds Jr. Driver X able to stay on the lead lap as Nottestad leads to the caution at the midway break. Here come the pit crews. There is not a lot of time to work on these race cars and make adjustments. It's hot for the 1st of October. Concern for Jake Guiley in the 13, but he's ready to get back out there. Coming to the green, Dale Nottestad leading the field. He is halfway to winning this National Short Track Championship. The Cambridge, Wisconsin driver leading Jeremy Miller, Jake Guiley, Michael Bilderback in the black 2 car, and Randy Sargent in the 11. Caution for a crash involving Bobby Wilberg in the 98 on the front stretch. And Grant Brown with big damage to his 14 car. On the restart, it's Nottestad on the point. Jeremy Miller and Michael Bilderback in the black 2 car now right behind the leader. Bilderback, the 4-time Big 8 Series champion from nearby South Beloit, looking for his first Sunday afternoon feature win. Miller, Jake Guiley, and Jesse Bernhagen in the 28 round out the top 5. Jeremy Miller on the move, taking the second spot from Bilderback. Does the 5-time Big 8 champ have anything for the race leader? Nottestad looking very comfortable out front as he and Miller put some distance between the top 2 and the rest of the field. Battle for third has Jesse Bernhagen, Michael Bilderback, and Randy Sargent racing hard for the spot. And trouble for the leader. Nottestad slows, the engine popping down the front stretch. We're under caution for Greg Borkert in the 3, but Dale Nottestad needs assistance to get the 2 to the pits. Jeremy Miller takes over the lead, with Sargent and Bernhagen right behind as we restart with less than 20 laps to go. Right away, Miller extends the lead, with Sargent taking over the second spot. Good battle for third on back. Alex Papini, Jesse Bernhagen, Jake Guiley, and John Reynolds Jr. all in the mix. It's tight racing in the pack, but out front, Jeremy Miller is cruising. The 5-time Big 8 champ calls Rockford home, but hasn't won a race here since 2007. That just changed. Jeremy Miller wins the National Short Track Championship at Rockford Speedway.
And my guys did an awesome job, and it's been bittersweet. I hate to see this place go because it's home, and but I'm so glad we won the last race. We made changes yet this morning, and after the heat race last night, I didn't feel like it was a winning car, and so we made some changes this morning. And at the break there, we went just a little bit farther and made it that much better yet. So the car was pretty flawless there at the end. It was, for having 150 lap tires on it, the thing was it was doing everything I wanted it to do.
It really is hard to say goodbye to Rockford Speedway, but if we must, congratulations to our winners and everyone involved in making this 58th National Short Track Championship weekend a big success. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time we go in the groove.